Since 2000, there's been 3 Spider-Man, there's been 2 Superman, there's been going to be 3 Jokers soon, and yet we've really had 1 X-Men we've recast, but it's the same continuity. Why has this been the franchise that's had the staying power, that's kept going in the current setup?
I really think it's because the underlying material, I think, is so strong, and I think the underlying material is strong because of the nature of the characters. The characters have incredibly rich internal conflicts and external emotional and psychological conflicts. And that's given us the ability to keep exploring different facets of them and different scenarios where we see them tested in different ways. And I think, Phoenix to me is probably the best example of that, because it does take these long simmering battles and realize them in a new way. I'm incredibly proud of Simon for the way he found to shape and evolve this story, both in keeping with the underlying comic, but as a way of, in some ways, kind of completing the argument between Charles and Eric, redefining the challenges between, the family. To me, that was an incredible accomplishment and really gratifying and fun to work on.
Well, what's so interesting, you mentioned Charles and Eric. In this movie, when we meet them, they're almost flipped from how we're used to seeing them. At what point in the development of this, or Apocalypse, or Days of Future Past, or whatever, did it become clear that that was the arc you were going to take these characters on ultimately?
Towards the end of Apocalypse, we started really talking about what we wanted to try to do next. And certainly, in the wake of all those movies you describe, you feel a lot of pressure to try to really change up the game and try to do something different. So we knew we needed to do something bold. We knew we wanted to do something tonally different. And that sort of led us to the Phoenix story. And then once we got there, it really was about how can let's look to flip everything on its head. Let's redefine the relationship between Charles and Hank. Let's redefine the relationship between Charles and Eric. Let's do something different with Storm and with all of them, frankly. So and that was really fun because it gave the actors a chance to play entirely different colors than they'd gotten to play before. Which, when you have a cast that's this extraordinary, you'd be making a terrible error not to give them those opportunities.
You've been able to bring some amazing stories to life. Days of Future Past, Dark Phoenix is probably a quintessential X-Men story. Old Man Logan. Is there a particular comic story that's not been done on the big screen that you would have loved to have been able to sort of get your hands on and translate with these sort of characters?
Yeah, I mean there are. I'm loath to mention any, but in part because I hope to still be able to do some of these. But part of what makes these comic books so powerful to me is they're effectively myth. And so it's an opportunity to both entertain, but also to deal with some real complicated emotional and thematic issues that are our lives. Alienation, or the degree to, the struggles we all have to fit in. Certainly in the United States, it's a very hot topic at the moment in all sorts of ways. And you're gently touching on those themes in ways that I think is really powerful.